So I'm I'm deeply cynical about politics at the moment. Although I did used to kind of be very very engaged in it, and so I'm always cynical about any one single moment in politics. But there is like one thing going on in the world at the moment that does make me think, hang on, maybe there is something changing here, which is the Obama campaign. And just the language that he's using is actually very different if you look at it. So, yes, we can. Now, there's 2 points in that which are very, very important. One is the use of the word we. It's not I. He's not talking about representative politics. He's saying, yes, we can. Like us. It's about us doing something, not about me doing something for you. It's us. It's we. And then yes. Like this is about politics of what we can do, not about what we can't do. And so those 3 words, yes we can, is one way of summing up, what is possible with all these new tools using the net. And I don't think it's any kind of accident that he's really picked up massive support from the online community in terms of his possible becoming president of the United States. But I think he is the first politician who's really tapped into that vibe. And so I do think maybe there is something going on, because also he's been incredibly successful, much more successful than Howard Dean was. And so time has changed. And so now I think we'll start to see politicians aping and copying Obama and realising that actually there is massive potential in this language and in this kind of mindset about what politics is for, that is less about representation and doing things for people. It's actually about leadership and doing things with people.
And we're going to see that influence mainstream politics or the way the country is run over the next?
I think so, definitely. I think I can see only very tiny shoots of it in British politics at the moment. I haven't seen any politician who I think really engages in that mindset at the moment in the UK, but I expect that will happen over the next sort of 5 years. The other thing is that British politics has longer lead times than American politics, so you can stand for president without being in Parliament for 20 years, without having a history of having to be part of this thing called a political party. So American politics moves faster, changes faster in terms of the mindset of the politicians, whereas that's very hard in Britain because we have these old, centuries-old institutions with their histories and so on, which are very, very difficult to shift, as in the Labour Party and the Conservative Party.
And once this change has sort of got underway, say in 20 years, is it an improvement, and why is it an improvement to what we have now?
I think it's a vast improvement on the politics we have now, because it's much more responsive. It's much more able to cope with decisions that are relevant to the now and to the demographics of the population. It's much more able to shift between scales, so it can be very, very local or it could be national. At the moment, our politics it finds it difficult to move between levels of institutional hierarchy and power. And I just think it's a more vibrant politics as well. It's one where people can actually feel like their voice is heard rather than they're yelling their head off but nobody's listening. It's a politics where you can help as well as just say like what you want, and that's an amazing thing. And at the moment we're starting to see that with some online projects. But imagine if a country was run like that, or imagine if even just a town was run like that. In the way that we're starting to see football clubs run like that. I think that's a sign of things to come.